If you're thinking about vlogging and content creation, having the right cameras and just equipment in general is the most important part to starting your creative process. So in this video, after starting content creation for quite some time, and especially as a young creator, I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of insight and advice on equipment that works, that will not only save you a little bit of money, but also a lot of time and effort in making sure that you have consistent and efficient quality content. We'll be breaking down this video into 1, 3 cameras that I recommend, 2, must-have accessories when it comes to content creation, as well as some recommended brands, and 3, my personal creative process and what content creation looks like for me. So with that aside, let's get into it. Now, as a first point of contact, you obviously want to look at cameras. And I have 3 pretty distinct cameras that I think will each have their own strengths and weaknesses, especially when it comes to the type of content that you are thinking of creating. The first camera we're going to look at is your phone. Advantages of using your iPhone is that 1, you already have it. You always bring it around with you, so it's just, again, really convenient to bring it out, record what you need to record, and then just carry on with your day. Depending on the phone that you have, you also get pretty good quality. Most modern phones can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second, which is very good quality, and even passing in 1080p will do you just fine. I personally film in 4K 24 FPS. I think one of the key takeaways for me with camera phones is that most of them have inbuilt image stabilization. So that means a lot of shaky footage or just rapid camera movements are really smoothed out and look nice, which when it comes to professional cameras you actually pay a lot more for. So having that feature is really helpful and keeps your videos looking good and content ready. On top of that, the learning curve of learning how to use your phone camera is obviously not that big. So it's not only budget friendly but beginner friendly as well. But if you do want to take it up to the next level, you can download camera apps on the App Store, which allows you to control all of the camera settings rather than having the iPhone do it for you, such as what type of lens you use, your ISO. I personally didn't use any of those apps when I was using this, but I wish that I did, because it would really solve all of those problems, like the camera lens changing automatically. Some of the disadvantages of using your phone is just the fact that it is both your camera and your actual everyday phone. So 1, you're going to be eating into a lot of battery, and especially if you have an older model, you might be struggling with just staying charged. On top of that, storage is also a huge issue. Especially since it is your daily phone, combined with the footage that you are filming, you're going to run out of storage incredibly quickly. For me, I have 256 gigabytes, and combined with like my everyday stuff, when I was using my phone for vlogging, it would limit me to probably about 1 vlog's worth of footage. But yeah, like overall, your phone is probably your best bet. Because of how versatile it is pretty suited for every situation, and it'll help you understand on what you want your content to look like in the future, any potential upgrades, or even if it's fine just sticking with your phone. But of course, if you're considering a separate camera for those reasons, and you are looking at something that is tailored towards vlogging, I would highly recommend looking into our next camera, the Go Ultra. Now this is Insta360's brand new Go Ultra. It is a very tiny pocket portable camera that is perfectly designed for vlogging. It's got a very sleek and lightweight design. It is only 53 grams. It comes in 2 colorways. We have white and black, and it's just really low key and sleek, and I think it's one of the nicest cameras that I have worked with. The camera comes in 2 parts. You have the main body with a remote screen in which you can monitor the detachable magnetic camera. Now this enables some really cool and creative shots that we're going to get into later on in the video, but really just for everyday vlogging, it is incredibly convenient whilst also really versatile in getting some really high quality and creative shots that just make your everyday life that little bit more interesting for your content. Now since the standalone camera is magnetic, when you pop it off, you can attach it to any magnetic surface to get those really cool and creative shots. And for those non-magnetic surfaces as well, you can also use Insta360's pivot stand and sticky tab with a very gentle but strong adhesive that you can use to mount your camera basically anywhere. You can also have some really cool hands-free POV shots by using a magnetic pendant that they provide. where you can just slip it under your clothes and the strong magnet will attach onto your chest. And with that POV shot, you can do so many things. You can make some cool reels or cool vlogs with like playing instruments or making coffee, cleaning your room. The possibilities are just endless with this camera. And just because it's small doesn't mean that it's compromising on quality. This camera can film up to 4K 60 frames per second. It has incredibly good image stabilization and horizon leveling as an action camera as well. So running, crazy movements will still look smooth and give you that high quality that you are looking for. When it comes to battery life, the standalone camera can film up to 70 minutes worth of footage on its own, and you can extend that to 200 minutes using it with the pod. And one of the convenient points for me is the fact that it charges from 0 to 80% in just 12 minutes, which when you're running low on battery and things are moving quick, you need some fast charging, so this camera is really good for that. Why I love this camera so much is 1, the amount of creative freedom that it gives you, and 2, I just love the wide focal length of the lens. I think that wide view is just something that is really unique and specific to the vlog style itself, and it gives your viewers that sense of intimacy that draws them into your videos and helps them keep watching. And something the old model didn't have with the Insta360 Go 3S is that the Go Ultra has a SD card slot, which means that you aren't limited by storage and you can have everything stored locally and transferred very easily and efficiently to the locations that you need it to be, whether that is a solid state drive, your laptop, and so on. The only area where I would say that this camera is a little bit limited in is the wide focal length. Don't get me wrong, that is a really huge strong point when it comes to vlogging and the vlogging style. But obviously, if you're looking into something that is more film and cinematic style rather than vlog style, you won't be able to get those quality close-ups and cinematic shots that style would require. But again, when it comes to filming your everyday life, this is an incredibly strong camera that you can get so much use out of, and I think is one of the coolest and most innovative pieces of tech when it comes to vlogging. So if you are interested in picking up one of these Go Ultras, you can use my affiliate link in the top right hand corner or in the description below, and also use my affiliate code royviolo. For our last camera, we're going to look at the Sony ZV-E10. Now the Sony ZV-E10 is the camera that I use for my vlogging, which I upgraded to I think last year from my phone. And I think as a budget camera, it definitely does the job and it does it well. There are a few areas of this camera that I would rather not have, but as a camera in itself, I think it's really great for those looking to upgrade into something a bit more professional, whilst looking to save a bit of money and not spend too much. Now you can get some really good quality out of the Sony ZV-E10. You can film up to 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p 60 frames per second, and I really like all the automatic features that it has when it comes to just changing your ISO, aperture, shutter speed, and so on, depending on the motion of the scene, which is really cool. Like right now it recognizes that this is a scene where I'm talking to the camera, so it will automatically change its settings to suit this kind of scene, suit the lighting, suit the focus, and so on. The kit lens that it comes with is also incredibly versatile. The focal length of the kit lens is between 60 to 50 millimeters, which means you're able to get those really nice wide shots for your more vlog style kind of footage, as well as those really cool close-ups as well. And as someone who has a mix of both of those, which is one of the reasons why I was using my iPhone in the first place, having a versatile lens is something really important to me. And the great thing about it is that it is interchangeable, so you can buy different types of lenses with different focal lengths or apertures and have a lens that is tailored towards the content that you are making. There's nothing really like special about it, it just does what it needs to do. There are a few drawbacks when it comes to using this camera. The first thing is that it has a very short battery life, especially when you're filming in 4K. I'm already like lowering the brightness of the display or turning off Wi-Fi connection just to save battery. But if you are considering this camera, you must buy extra batteries. I have 2 extra batteries with their own charging case. That way if I ever run out, I can just quickly change it out, put a new one back in, and I'll be full charged again. And that will generally help me get through my day. So you do have to go that extra step to buy those batteries in order to get the most out of your camera in your day. For the second drawback, which is probably the most important to me, is the fact that the camera does not have inbuilt image stabilization, or IBIS. Now while the kit lens comes with OSS, which is optical steady shot, that's Sony's kind of inbuilt lens stabilization, it is not that effective. especially when we're comparing it to things like the Insta360 or just your iPhone. If you notice, when I'm using this camera while I'm walking around my vlogs, the footage is incredibly shaky. Even when I'm holding it just standing still, you can still see those micro shakes that kind of disturbs the quality of my footage. Now the camera does have a digital stabilization called active stabilization, which you can enable while you are filming, but this introduces a crop to your footage, which for me, when I really want those wide shots, it is not the most favorable for me. But again, when you are looking at these cameras, image stabilization does come at a cost, and you are generally looking at cameras that are around more than $1,800. So the workaround for me is that I use a mix of cameras. I use this for when I'm at home or just using a tripod, but when I'm out and about, I use my Go Ultra or my iPhone to get that stable footage. Moving on to equipment that you need for vlogging, you're going to be looking at tripods, SD cards, and potentially solid state drives. These two being the most important. I have a full-length tripod which I got off Amazon for I think less than 40 bucks. When you're at home or in a controlled environment, that will just really help you get all the shots that you need, ensuring that you have stable footage and that you can place your camera where it needs to be, rather than relying on your actual physical environment. Now for more uncontrolled environments where I'm not able to obviously bring that huge tripod with me, I have a small handheld one by Ulanzi, I believe. This allows me to have something handheld when I'm out and about in the city, but it also means that while I'm using my physical environment to prop up my camera, I still have control over the shots that I'm doing with this tripod. So this might mean propping it up on a table while I'm at a cafe or on my train seat, and I'm even using it right now on my desk as I talk to you. Having those two means that you're prepared for both situations, both in controlled and uncontrolled environments, to make the most out of your camera shots and getting the footage that you need. When it comes to SD cards, I would recommend getting something between 128 to 256 gigabytes. I don't really see a need to get anything more, especially if you are offloading your footage very often. Just make sure you're getting to a routine of filming and offloading, filming and offloading. Your SD card is only a temporary location for your footage, so just make sure that you have some sort of system when it comes to offloading your footage. Now on that note of offloading, I would consider getting a solid state drive. Not a hard drive, not a USB, but a solid state drive. These are a bit pricey, but they are a good investment when it comes to having a central location for all of your footage. I have the Samsung T7 Shield and I have 2 terabytes worth of storage on it. And I just store all of my footage on there. I have a bunch of folders on my different vlogs. And that means I'm saving up the storage space on my PC, my laptop, my phone, because I have an external location that is just suited for my content creation. Now when it comes to the Go Ultra, Insta360 provides a range of accessories that will help you get the shots that you want. Some accessories that really stand out to me are the 2-in-1 tripod, which also serves as a selfie stick. You can also use the pivot stand, which comes with a very gentle adhesive, which I've talked about before, which means that you can virtually stick the camera anywhere, magnetic or non-magnetic. And if it does lose its adhesiveness, you can just wash it with some water and it will become sticky again once it dries. There's also obviously the magnetic pendant that you can wear to get those hands-free POV shots. And also a ring remote which you can wear on your finger, which comes with a little button that you can control your camera with, which means that in times where you might not be able to reach your camera, for example if you propped it up on your car or on your bike, you are still able to record and stop recording hands-free, which again just makes your creative process that little bit more convenient and efficient. Now while vlogging can seem like a fun and spontaneous kind of hobby, if you want to take it seriously and progress in your content creation journey, you must have a solid creative process. Firstly, you need to plan. I use Notion to plan my videos, but you can use a notebook, you can use just Google Docs or whatever. Just plan out your video ideas. I first think of where am I right now and what kind of content do I want to put out and what kind of content can I make. I plan my titles, I plan what my video is going to be about, I plan the kind of shots that I want, I plan the amount of time I would allocate for a specific section of the video. If there are any sponsorships, I plan what I need to talk about, any editing notes that I want to include. The more planning that I do beforehand, the more seamless and less stressful the actual filming process will be. When it comes to filming, I just have a few like rule of thumbs for me that just work in terms of how I want to film my videos. If you watched some of my guides before, you would know the 10-second rule. This is just a little something where you film every clip that you do for a minimum of 10 seconds. That way you have that extra bit of time to work with. Sometimes you might want to be matching a beat, or you just want a clip to just be a little bit longer, so having that 10 seconds gives you that leeway that you need, which will save you a lot of trouble in editing. You should also try to change up your shots as much as you can, especially when it comes to doing a repetitive action. I would say have at least a minimum of 3 different types of shots of the same action. So if I'm working at my desk, for example, I might have a shot behind me on my right, a shot on my left, and then a shot up close on my keyboard. I also like to film a range of still shots combined with my action shots. It might be the tree outside my house, or just close-ups of my desk, or close-ups of the coffee machine, for instance. And it kind of gives that break between action that sets the pace of my video and also allows the viewer to anticipate that there is a change of action and that something new is going to happen. Also, during my filming process, I shoot my thumbnails. I used to just take screenshots of my footage and just pop them in randomly to make a thumbnail, but being intentional with your thumbnails, I personally think having just singular shots or maybe half and half are the most encapsulating, and making sure that your thumbnails are not too crowded. Once I filmed everything, for example at the end of my day, I will offload my footage. So I have a little hub where I can insert my SD cards and also my SSD, and then I will transfer all of my footage and organize it on my SSD. I will then open it up on CapCut and edit my videos. It generally takes me around 10 hours to edit a 15 to 16 minute video, and to be honest, my editing process is a whole nother video in itself. So if you would like me to talk about that in more depth, please let me know in the comments below. After editing my video, I will then export it back onto my SSD, and during that I will also edit my thumbnails on Canva. I use Canva and Adobe Express. Adobe Express is just to remove the background of my photos. After that's all done, I will upload it to YouTube. I will write my timestamps down in the description, import my captions, do my hashtags, and then set my premiere for 10 AM. So yeah, that's what my creative process looks like in a nutshell. Pretty simple, just plan, film, edit, post. So take what you will with this information, but again, it's incredibly important to have your own process to your content creation to ensure that it works for you and that you are comfortable and confident in consistently posting and creating content. So yeah, this was my little guide on how to start content creation, considering cameras, equipment, and your creative process. I think those 3 things are the fundamentals of content creation, and having them really down pat will just make things a lot more smoother and efficient for you in the long run. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any more ideas on types of guides that you would like me to do, please let me know. And again, if you are interested in picking up a Go Ultra for yourself, which I highly recommend that you do, because honestly, this is one of the coolest cameras that I've ever seen. And I'm just so amazed about how much use I'm able to get out of it and how much creative freedom I have with it. But yeah, sorry, if you're interested, please use my affiliate link and my affiliate code royviolo. There's more info for you in the description below. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you guys in the next video. So take care, bye bye.